Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Shri Akal. Welcome everybody. So glad to be back on the mat with you. And I'm so grateful that you are here with me, and I'm so grateful to be here with you as well. I really cherish these moments, and so I'm very glad to be here. I'm gonna forget how to teach yoga soon, aren't I, if I don't carry on doing it. So it may be smooth, it may be rough, who knows? Don't know what these fellas are going to get up to as well. Our practice today is a practice with just journeying through the wheel of the year, the spring equinox, known as the vernal equinox, Ostara, and we've come to this point where there's equilibrium in nature. Dark, light, inner, outer. And as we move through this point of balance, equilibrium, we realize and become aware of how precious it is and how very short it is. And that as soon as we pass that point, we shift back into a changing pattern. And as we journey through the challenges, global challenges, knowing that these moments that we find in which there is equilibrium, in which there is balance, are precious and significant for our own sense of equilibrium. It's also Nowruz. So Nowruz is Persian New Year. And the Persian New Year is celebrated in Iran, in Afghanistan, by the Parsi community in South Asia, Armenia. And Nowruz marks the arrival of spring. So our practice today is going to be drawing upon this sort of this cross-cultural honoring of the equinox. And we'll work with the elements, the Pancha Mahabhutas: water, fire, earth, air, space. As the sun crosses the celestial equator, in that moment of equilibrium, all of the elements are in balance. Let's bring our hands together in Namaskar. So pressing all of the 5 fingers and thumb and palm together, bringing together the integration of the 5 elements of nature. Closing your eyes, opening by chanting the primordial vibration of the universe, Om, 3 times, in celebration of Ostara, in celebration of the equinox, in celebration of Nowruz. Inhale fully to prepare. Take a full breath in and full breath out through open mouth. 2 more breaths. So in through the nose, out through open mouth. We'll be working with the 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 great Mahabhutas elements. And each of the elements are represented by the fingers of our hand. And so as we move through the elements, I'll be inviting you to bring the thumb and the fingers together to reach for the energetic mood of each of the elements. Earth, Prithvi, is represented by the ring finger. Jal, water, is represented by the little finger. Agni, fire, is represented by the thumb. Vayu, air, is represented by the index. And Akash, space or ether, is represented by the middle finger. So I'm starting at earth, so that's why I'm starting with the ring finger. Earth, ring, water, little, fire, thumb, air, index, space, middle. And I'll talk you through as we move through each of the mudras. We'll start by chanting a sequence of mantra which relates to each of the elements. So we'll start with Prithvi. This is just to help us to get into the flow of our practice. So bring the tip of the thumb and the tip of the little finger together and have the palms face down. This is the Prithvi mudra. And the mantra here is Lam Prithviya Namah. Lam Prithviya Namah. Lam Prithviya Namah. Bring the thumb to the little finger and you can bring the palms face up if you wish. The mantra here is Vam Jalaye Namah. Vam Jalaye Namah. Vam Jalaye Namah. Now moving to the fire element. So let's fold in the ring and bring the thumb, because remember the thumb represents fire, to the knuckle of the ring finger. So we're bringing fire and earth together here. And again, palms face up. So thumb to the knuckle of the ring finger. Thumb represents fire. And the mantra here is Ram Agnaye Namah. Ram Agnaye Namah. Ram Agnaye Namah. Moving to Vayu. So Vayu is air. Now let's fold in the index fingers. Remember the index represents the element of air. We bring the thumb to the knuckle of the index rather than the tip, because we don't want to create too much wind or too much air. We want it to be a balanced practice today. Air has a tendency to kind of really whip up a storm. So let's bring the thumb to the knuckle of the index finger. And you can have palms face down or face up for this round. And the mantra is Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. And finally, Akash, the space element. So remember, this is the middle finger represents. And now we can bring the tips together. And again, I invite you to have the palms face up for this round. And the mantra is Ham Akashya Namah. Ham Akashya Namah. Ham Akashya Namah. And then when we've chanted all five, which we've worked through all five elements, we bring our fingers together in Namaskar. Namaskar. And the mantra here is Atmaya Namah. Atmaya Namah. Atmaya Namah. So thank you. So we'll go through those as we pace ourselves through our practice. So remember, these sessions with me are an introduction to a practice that you can then grow and develop and incorporate throughout the rest of your yoga practice. So sometimes it can feel a bit sort of like a little workshop just to get us into that place. And then when we come back to it in the future, we'll kind of have this sense of familiarity with it. So let's start with Prithviya, earth element. And unusually, we're going to stand for our first mantra, for our first asana. So we'll start from standing today. Tadasana, mountain pose, standing mountain. So my friends, come up onto your feet. Lift the toes and then place them on the earth one by one. Connect through all four corners of your feet. The big toe pads to the inner arch, the little toe pads to the outer edge of the foot. Bend into your knees and then hug the muscles to the bones. So engage the muscles as if you're squeezing a ball here between the thighs, and then straighten through the legs. Keep a softness to the knees now. You should maintain this engagement through the legs and the feet. Now let's engage the locks, the energy locks, the mula bandha here by squeezing at the pelvis. Hugging in the navel, this engages the core. And then let's slightly lift the chin so it's parallel to the earth. So we're going to keep the throat lock, the navel lock, and the root lock are engaged. Hands open for the moment while we stand in Tadasana and find your balances. So you may sway backwards and forwards, side to side. And then let's bring the ring and the thumb together in Prithvi. And our mantra for Tadasana is going to be Lam Prithviya Namah. You can chant that silently to yourself or out loud as you wish. Let's come into stillness here. The qualities or the mood of Prithvi, the element of earth, from which all grows in spring. The hyacinths and tulips, daffodils. It's said for a star, if you bury an egg to the entrance to your home in the soil, it brings luck, growth to your year. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, bring your hands together in Namaskar and fold forward, down towards the earth. Forward fold here. Inhale, halfway, hands on shins or thighs or the earth. Exhale, fold, bending into your knees. Let's rise up. Urdhva Hasasana, hands up in the air, hands together again, down to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, flow down towards the earth in Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Hands on the earth, on blocks, on your shins or thighs. Fold and then rise up towards the sky. Hands together, exhale to the heart. Lam Prithviya Namah. Exhale, folding here. So this is, you can see, Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Inhale, rise up. Maintain the earthing connection between the feet and the ground. Take a moment here. Place the left hand on the left hip and reach up and over with the right arm. Gaze down towards the earth. That left hand can stay where it is, or you can reach and interlace your fingers here. Inhale back to center, right hand on the right hip, left arm up and over. We come over with our Prithvi Mudra. Again, option to interlace the hands here. Back to center. Maintain that connection between the feet and the earth. Now let's reach overhead. Hands together, gentle back bend. Exhale, flow forward once more. Inhale halfway. Leave the right hand on the earth and reach up with the left fingertips towards the sky, hand in Prithvi. Maintain that connection between the earth and the fingertips of the right hand. Exhale, left hand to earth, right hand reaches up. Lam Prithviya Namah. Bring the hand to the earth, bending into your knees, rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, namaskar to the heart, over to the left. Through center, over to the right. Back to center, hands come together, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Right hand stays on the earth, left hand reaches up. Let's swap. The whole focus here is the connection between the earth. Inhale to rise up. Gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale, hands to sky, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands flow down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway. Right hand on the earth, left hand reaches up. Exhale, swapping over. Hands to the earth, bend through the knees to rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, right hand up and over. Left hand up and over. Back to center, hands to heart. Take a moment here, breathing deeply here. Now, wherever you are, my friends, I'm going to sort my hair out. It's getting so long. Let's come to the top of your mat. From here, my friends, step back long with the left leg. Bring the left heel to the earth, bend into the right knee here, coming into Warrior One, Virabhadasana 1. Hands in Prithvi Mudra, hands reaching behind you. Open the heart, lift the gaze. Hands reach overhead in Namaskar. Exhale, fall down towards the earth. Lift the left foot off the earth here. Coming into standing splits variation. That left foot can be on the earth or lifting up. Take a moment here. And then staying with the right hand on the earth, reach up with the left hand to come into moon pose, half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana here. Exhale, left hand to the earth, keeping that balance with the right foot connected with the earth. Let's lift the right hand to the sky, left hand on the earth. A gentle twist here. And then bring the right hand to the earth. Rediscover the earth with your left foot. Rise up in Warrior One, hands above you. Exhale, open the arms, Prithvi Mudra. And then let's step forward with the left foot to meet the right foot, hands at the heart. Maintaining this sense of groundedness as you flow through. The mood of Prithvi is calm, groundedness, sense of stability, finding support and structure. Let's step back with the right foot. Bring the heel to the earth, coming into Warrior One. Virabhadrasana. Hands in Prithvi. Open out the arms, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Reach overhead with Namaskar. Exhale, fold down towards the earth with your fingertips. And then lift the right leg off the earth here. And that right leg can be low to the earth, can be high up from the earth. Fingertips connected with the earth or to blocks. And when you're ready, my friends, let's lift the right arm to the sky to open out into Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale right onto the earth. And then let's lift the left arm to the sky, hand in Prithvi, a gentle twist here. Left hand to the earth, then find the earth, rediscover the earth with the right foot to rise up. In Virabhadrasana 1, Lam Prithviya Namah. Open out the arms and step forward in Tadasana, hands at the heart. Thinking about the element of earth, how all rises abundantly from the earth. The survival of the plants and the seeds dependent on the structure and the container provided with the element of earth. Our foundation. Lam Prithviya Namah. We're going to step back with the left foot and turn the right toes forward so we come into wide-legged stance here. Open out the arms in Tadasana. So we're now moving towards the element of earth. Jal. Open out the arms, remember here, thumb and little finger connected. The mood of Jal is fluidity, creativity, sensuality. Bend into the knees, turn out the toes. Left forearm and left thigh, reach up and over. Through center. Back to center, palms come together. In Namaskar, hands reach up. Exhale, straighten through the legs, heart halfway. So we come into Prasarita Padottanasana. Exhale, hands to the earth. Soften the crown. Reach up with the left hand to the sky. In Jal Mudra. The mantra here is Vam Jalaye Namah. Exhale, left hand to the earth, right hand to the sky. Vam Jalaye Namah. Back to center. Bend into your knees. Hands to the heart in Namaskar. Hands reach up. Then exhale over to the left. Over to the right. Hands to heart. Straighten through the legs and hinge forward. Exhale, right hand to the earth, left fingertips to the sky. Hand in your Jal Mudra. Vam Jalaye Namah. Exhale, left hand to the earth, right hand up to the sky. Hands to the center, back to earth, to the heart. Bend into your knees and rise up. Namaskar above the crown. Left arm on left thigh, reach over with the right arm. Inviting you to flow here in a very similar sequence to that which we started the earth routine. And one more time, straightening through the legs, hinging forward from the hips, heart parallel, and then releasing the hands to the earth, left onto the sky. Right onto the sky. Vam Jalaye Namah. So thinking about this, the energy of water is to cleanse, to sustain, to nourish. So as the seeds, the bulbs are in the earth, water gives life and sustenance to the structure that is contained, the structure of the seed, the structure of soil, the stability of that, which invites watering, nourishing, hydration, so that the seeds may fruition into their potentiality. Hands at heart, bend into knees. Utkarta Konasana, hands above the crown. And exhale left, exhale right. And once again, hands at the heart. Now let's heel toe in together, my friends, to come into Malasana here. Squat, yogi squat. Hands come into your Jal mudra, Vam Jalaye Namah. Left hand on the earth and then right arm up and over. And let's flow like this from left to right. 3 times in both directions. Expanding the reach. And then bringing your hands together in Namaskar in front of the heart, growing above the crown. Exhale, hands to earth. And bring your seat to the earth here. And then drop the left knee down and the right knee down. So you come into Marigyasana, this deer pose. From here, you can stay here in deer pose, or you can extend that left leg behind you to come into Kapotasana, pigeon pose. Your choice, my friends. And then let's flow by folding over the right leg, rising up. Vam Jalaye Namah. So representing growth, fertility, shooting up from the earth and growing in all directions. The creepers crawling, the vines reaching out. This new day, new season. One more here, wherever you are, my friends. And then let's come into stillness here. Place the left hand on the earth, then reach up and over with the right arm. Right hand on the earth, up and over with the left arm. This doesn't need to be a big movement. It can be a very gentle movement. We're creating a sense of warmth and vitality, of invitation and welcome. And when you've completed 3 times in both directions, my friends, let's come back to center. So bend into that left knee if it's extended behind you. Counter twist to the left. And then let's turn our knees so that we now have our body towards the left knee, the right knee behind us. Again, you can stay in Marigyasana, the steer rotation pose, or you can extend the left leg behind, right leg behind you to come into pigeon on this side, my friends. And again, flowing here. So I'm connecting all 5 of my digits with the earth so that there's a connection between all of the elements. Vam Jalaye Namah. Renewing the earth with water. And then, my friends, we're going to do this gentle extension, lateral extension to the left and the right. Doesn't matter which way you go. 3 times in both directions. Thumb and little finger connected. And then let's come back to center, counter twist to the other direction. And back to center. So let's now move into the element of fire. Fire which stokes, which produces the vital energy of warmth to the warmth of the sun rays shining on the plants, on leaves, on trees, on new life that has burst forth of all sentient beings. So from here, my friends, it doesn't matter which way you go, it's your choice. We're going to come onto all 4s. So you choose which direction you want to face and you'll mat it. You can always turn around. Let's come into a cycle of cat-cow, Bitliyasan and Majriyasan. And I really want you to focus here on the navel here, the area around the Manipur, so the navel lock. Drawing in the belly button to the spine as you flow the length of the spine. The mood, the energy of Agni is confidence. It's having a purpose, a sense of purpose or drive, discipline, being motivated. That determination to grow and reach the sun. And then from here, my friends, let's take our hands slightly forward, spread out the fingers wide so that you are clawing the earth. And I invite you to tuck your toes and lift your knees. If this feels unavailable right now, bring your knees to the earth. So this is a Phalakasana or Kumbhakasana plank pose. And you can have the variation of Ardha plank, Ardha Phalakasana as well, my friends. Draw in the navel here. Now, whichever variation you're in, my friends, let's lift one leg behind us. And then return that to the earth. And then lift the other leg behind us. And return that to the earth. So taking each leg turn by turn and extending it behind us. When you've done that 3 times, with each leg, come into child's pose and rest in child's pose. So we're going to do another round of this. So now we're stoking the fire. When we think about this time of the season, as we're cleaning out the old, we may be burning the that which we don't need, the dross, all of the waste of that we produce. How do we reproduce in such material lives? We produce so much waste, and how can we recycle that? So it's a kind of a way of burning the impurities, but also recycling that which is necessary and required and needed, either by us or by others. So it's a sharing of energy, an allocation of energy. There's this saying in Pashto, Surki to Asman, Zardi man astu. Surki to Asman, Zardi man astu. My yellow is yours, your red is mine. And that is my rich energy and strength is to be shared. My needs, my vulnerabilities are to be shared with you. So mine are yours and yours are mine. And in that, we are sharing them. So rise up from your balasana, my friends. The mantra here, Ram Agnaye Namah. So coming back into Ardha Falakasana, with the knees lifted here. Now this time, as you lift the leg, lift the opposite arm. Lift the leg, lift the opposite arm. So balance yourself here as you move here. So if you're doing half variations, you'll be coming into what looks like Sardulasana. And let's do 3 times each side. And your left hand, the hand, or left or right hand, which you'll lift, see if you can bring that into Agni Mudra by folding in the ring and bringing the thumb to the ring knuckle. That's an additional challenge here. And if you wish to practice this a little more, let's practice a little more. You can see how you need discipline, concentration, focus, drive to coordinate the body into balance here. The power of Agni is to transform, to metabolize. So this is where the transformation takes place. Caterpillars into butterflies, eggs into birds, tadpoles into frogs. The house, literally the house, the structure, the body is shaken down, shaken out, and the new is created in its place. And so the element of Agni clears out that which is no longer necessary in this moment, that's no longer needed. So now the cocoon does not serve us in this moment, and now it's time to come into one's own identity. My friends, come back into child's pose. I appreciate where you've been for a while. So knees on the earth. You can take your arms alongside your body, palms face up. Again, just maintain the Agni Mudra by folding in the ring finger and bringing the thumb to the knuckle of the ring finger. Ram Agnaye Namah, Ram Agnaye Namah, Ram Agnaye Namah. Creating the change through feelings of confidence, of courage, of vitality. The heat emanating, being absorbed from the sun, but also being emanated and created in this process of transformation itself. Inhale, lift the eyebrow center. And let's release our legs so that we are on our sit bones here. And from here, we're going to come into Nukasana boat pose. So engage the core here. Option to leave the toes on the earth for balance. Open out the arms, or have the hands in Namaskar, or have the hands on the earth. Lots of points at which you can explore, that you're invited to be at. Wherever you choose to be. Option to lift one leg, or lift both legs. Imagine you are squeezing a ball between the thighs or a block. This will engage that feeling that we created when we were in Tadasana. We want to create that in the thighs here. Toes could be pointed or feet flexed. If you have the capacity to extend the legs long into the air, you may wish to do that. Otherwise, be where you are, my friends. Ram Agnaye Namah. It's abundance. There's a ceremony as part of the Persian New Year in which you jump over the fire as the sun passes the equator during the equinox. One more breath here, my friends. And let's bring your hands together at your heart in Namaskar. Hands reach overhead above the crown. Now, feet can be on the earth or legs extended. And then bring your hands to the heart. Release your feet to the earth. Place your right hand on the earth and then reach up and over with your Agni Mudra to the right, through center, over to the opposite side. Let's flow 3 times from side to side here. Keep that core engaged. If you wish to do this with your feet lifted, my friends, the challenge is yours to accept. You can have one leg lifted. Yeah, be creative, my friends. This is your practice. Well, the fire is definitely burning for me now. Then, my friends, let's come back to center. Take a moment here and then swing the legs behind you. And let's come back into child's pose for a moment. I'm going to move into Vayu, the element of air. And the mood we are now crafting, moving away from that sort of driving, motivating energy into a much softer, more compassionate, loving energy. Here we're going to be focusing on the idea of movement, motion. So inhale to rise up with the third eye in the crown. Stay on your shins. Maybe make your feet more comfortable by rolling up a blanket on the inside of your ankles. We're going to move into Ustrasana, camel pose here. We'll move in stages, my friends. So hands at the heart in Namaskar, all of the elements together. Inhale, hands reach overhead. And a very gentle back bend here. So only as far back as you still feel supported. Now, if it feels too challenging, one hand on the lower back. You can raise one hand above the crown. We're not going to go all the way back here. So gentle back bend. And exhale, hands to the heart. Come back to neutral spine here. And then my friend's left hand on left hip. Hand reaches over. The mudra here is thumb over the knuckle of the index. Vayu mudra. Through center. And back to Namaskar. Reaching over. And here you may wish to add on. You can always fold forward towards the earth if you wish. Three times through center and then lateral to the left and right. Exhale, hands to the heart. The mantra here is Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. Now we're going to move into our very traditional variation of Ustrasana. So hands on lower back, perhaps. Draw the shoulder blades in here. You can stay here. You can reach back with one hand. You can reach back with both hands, my friends. Hug the navel into the spine. Remember, you can have one hand on the foot behind you. Be where you are, my friends. Everything open at the front here. And the movement, the motion is coming here in the lung space where the lungs are open, the heart is open, the throat is open. Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. When you're ready, my friend, we're going to release with care here. Support your lower back and then rise up and fold forward, bringing your crown to touch the earth very gently. Create a scaffold with your hands and arms here, coming into Shashandasana, hair pose. You also have the option of tucking your toes and then wrapping your hands around your heels. Hair pose. Now, Astara is associated with the hair. The hair is symbolic of the moon. The hair is symbolic of immortality. So often the spirit of the hair, the animal hair. So I might have to say that. Easter bunnies. The energy that the hair has, the vitality, and this sort of cosmic energy that's represented by the egg and by the hair are associated very much with ancient European beliefs, heralding from the Germanic region. And the deity of Stara is the deity for the spring equinox. Stara is also the root word for estrogen. And this balance of hormones or imbalance of hormones, or when our gender identities and the balance of hormones don't meet, in that space, in that moment of creation, is our immortality in the identity that we hold. Is the potentiality of all that we are, and all that we have been, and all that we will be. From here, my friends, let's bring our hands to the earth and extend our legs away from us to come into Salambar Bhujangasana, Sphinx pose. And then place our hands either side of our chest. Tuck in the elbows. Inhale to rise up in Cobra Bhujangasana. Lift the chin here. Release the shoulders away from the earth, away from the ears. And then let's flow here, rising up. Perhaps we look over to the left, to the right. Be creative here, make movement here. Perhaps you come back into child's pose and then weave your way through to Bhujangasana. Creating movement here, change. The element of Vayu is associated with intellect, light-heartedness. So it's this ability to be insightful, yet retain our compassion. With that intellect, sometimes intellect can become critical. the intelligence, the cosmic intelligence of the universe, to which we are all connected in some way. It is the discovery of that connection, the drawing upon that wisdom through our ancient rituals and traditions. One more flowing movement here. Yam Vayuve Namah. And then, my friends, let's come onto our abdomens. Take a moment there before rolling onto our backs. And from here, my friends, we're going to come into Matsyasana, fish pose. So we're now moving into the element of space, Akash. So bending into your knees, lift your seat and place your hands underneath your seat here. And then extend your legs long. Engage the core, tuck the chin, and then lift yourself onto your forearms and tuck your elbows underneath you. And then from here, my friends, arch the spine, open the heart, and release the crown down towards the earth behind you. It may connect with the earth. It may be some inches away from the earth. You may place a pillow under there if you wish. Matsyasana, fish pose. Legs may remain extended. You can have a bend in your knees if you wish, my friends. And lift your legs off the earth here. At any point, if you wish to transition out of Matsyasana, tuck the chin in before releasing the upper body down back towards the earth. The mantra here is Ham Akashya Namah, Ham Akashya Namah, Ham Akashya Namah. And the mood here is spaciousness, open-mindedness, universal consciousness. This is the space that is created after the great spring clean. After the rebirth, the expansiveness that is created, the openness with which all of nature flourishes, where it is not harmed by the actions of humans, but where it is supported by our choices and decisions. Akashya Namah. One more breath here, my friends. Your legs are lifted. Bring them to the earth. Tuck the chin and then lower your back down towards the earth before releasing your hands. And then let's lie here for a few moments to realign the spine. Allow the feet to fall open and the hands to rest here. The mudra for this last phase, the Akash element, is thumb to middle finger. So you may choose to have that connection with your thumb and middle finger now as you lie here in Shavasana. The energy of Akash is acceptance, truthfulness, integrity. And in that moment of balance, of equilibrium, there is integrity, there is acceptance, there is space. Akashya Namah. Akashya Namah. Now I'm going to invite you to take your awareness and travel with that awareness through the structure of your body, this embodiment of all of the elements. Starting with all the points of connection with the earth, perhaps your feet or your root. Thumb and ring finger connected, silently chanting or visualizing Lam Prithviya Namah. Lam Prithviya Namah. Lam Prithviya Namah. Focusing here at the root of the spine, the lower legs, the body that is connected with the earth. Thumb to little finger. Focusing here on all the fluids that run through your system. Vam Jalaye Namah. Vam Jalaye Namah. Vam Jalaye Namah. Thumb to ring finger knuckle. Thinking, bringing your awareness here of the core, the fire at the core. Agnaye Namah. Agnaye Namah. Agnaye Namah. Thumb to index finger knuckle. Of all of the air and gases within your body, your system, the spaces of light. Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. Yam Vayuve Namah. Thumb and middle finger. Expansiveness within, the expansiveness without. Akashya Namah. Akashya Namah. Akashya Namah. And now visualize your whole self, every part of the self, lying here within the cosmos, connected, feeling in perfect equilibrium with nature, with the cosmos, holding cosmic intelligence that connects you to the celestial intelligence, that connects you to nature's intelligence. Mantra here is Atmaya Namah. Atmaya Namah. Atmaya Namah. I am the universal soul. In this new day, as we pass through the equinox, as the sun crosses over the equator, treasuring, honoring, celebrating each sacred moment of balance, of equilibrium in a world that is troubled. Returning to your center, returning to your connection with nature, renewing and rebirthing your ideas of self so that you come into integrity with the self. You may continue to lie here in Shavasana, or begin to gently move your fingers and toes, swaying your head, rising up gently into seat of Sukhasana. Hands together at the heart. And closing our time by chanting Om Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad. Thank you, my friends. Dhanyavad. Thank you, everyone. And blessings to you all.